Hello everybody, this is BladeCrossEXE, and today I'll be bringing you the review of my first Ultrasaber, the Dark Catalyst. I got this saber because I want to customize it for a costume I'm building. I got it mostly because of that choke point right there, and I like the emitter style. I want to turn it into kind of a futuristic knight style sword, which is why I like this choke point here, because I can put the handguard on it whenever I get it finished. This is actually going to be a before and after video. I'm going to show you I'm going to give you the review of my saber right now, then I will show you what it looks like once it's finished. But before I go over the specs of my saber, I want to talk about the Ultrasaber service a little bit. Now, I first heard about Ultrasabers at a convention I went to. I was in an autograph line and saw a guy with a black-handled lightsaber with a purple blade that didn't make sound. I knew it wasn't one of the master replicas, so I asked him where he got it, and he said he got it from Ultrasabers. I checked them out, and their quality seemed pretty high, and the customer service was really great as well. I asked him some questions about which do they prefer, the color discs or the LEDs, and they gave me a lot of helpful tips on a couple of customization parts I asked about as well. I asked them if they thought attaching some claws from either the Raven or the mouse would be possible, like up on the hilt. I mean the emitter. And said just based on the catalyst design that probably would be possible without a lot of heavy modification. And since I'm still new to this, then that's out the window for the time being. I ordered this on a Saturday, and it arrived the following Wednesday. So that's really fast shipping, and this was just all around good service. I give Ultrasabers a thumbs up for their customer service and quality. But now on to the specs of my saber. As you can see, I got the Dark Catalyst. I did not get the illuminated LED switch or the Covertech clip. This is just bare basic stuff. The only thing I got that was really customized about it was the LED itself, which is the Adagin Silver. Let me get my blade real quick. Just slide it in. Alright, and as you can see, when I turn it on, that is very bright. I know I said it's the Adagin Silver, but looking at it on the camera, that's actually a light blue. But trust me, the saber itself is very, very bright, very white. Silverish. Now, as far as the saber goes, as far as the quality goes, I've only got two complaints about the catalyst itself. First is this right here. It's only got one screw to hold the blade in. Now, that's fine. It does its job, it holds the blade, it's sturdy, but when you have it screwed in, the blade is slightly off center. Now, you can't really see it right here because I'm having to hold the camera with one hand, and, actually, hold on, let me fix that. Well, I couldn't find my wrench, so I had to tighten the screw using something else. But basically, if you look closely at the emitter here, you can see that the blade's slightly off center when the screw is tightened. So, it's not really a big deal, you can't really see that when you're holding it up. It's just, you know, for those people who are OCD and everything has to be perfectly symmetrical, you know, that might be a little bit of a problem. Not for me, though. It's fine. It's just nitpicking, really. The only other real complaint I have about this saber, I don't know if they do this for all the emitters, but the emitter on the catalyst, as cool as it looks, and as high quality as the rest of the saber is, there's one thing that I was kind of shocked and, you know, somewhat disappointed about. Give me a second to get it unscrewed. And that is the reflector piece inside the emitter is being held in by hot glue. And I actually had to reattach it actually came out and I had to reattach it myself right before I started taking this video. So, compared to the rest of the saber, that's the one thing that really stands out as far as, you know, quality being not so great. But the rest of the saber is top notch. You know, really nice sound, customizable. If you unscrew the pommel, you can see the rechargeable batteries and the USB port, so you can modify the soundboard as you see fit. Another thing is, don't try to use regular AA's with this. Apparently, they're not strong enough to power the saber because they'll only make the soundboard work, but they won't work with LED light. But this thing is ridiculously bright. Look at that. It's blinding. Again, it is Adagin Silver, even though it looks blue on the camera. Now, what they said about the color discs, they were not lying. The color discs really do not do justice to the actual LED colors from what I've seen. But that's only using one color disc. So I ordered, I think, 3 sets of color discs. One that came with the edge and silver blade, and then 2 extras. Because I was kind of prepared for that. And also some Lee filters to create different color combinations. The reason being, the sword that I need for the cosplay I mentioned earlier needs to be able to change color based on what attack the character is using. So I'm gonna take the blade out and show you a couple different colors that I made using the color discs. Alright, now that I got the color discs installed, I'm going to show you what I was able to make using 4 green color discs. 2 light green and 2 light green and 2 kind of turquoise-ish green, I guess. Here we go. Yeah, even in this well-lit room, this green blade lights up very nicely. It's a bit brighter than it appears on the camera. It's not quite that deep of a saturated green as it appears. It actually does look kind of close to, like, you know, the Force Effects lightsabers. No, not Force Effects, the Ultimate Effects, the cheaper toy versions of the Force Effects. It looks like the Luke Saber green on that. So, that's what my green looks like. I'm not going to show you all the colors I came up with, because I'm going to save that for the later half of the review when I show off the handguard. But, while I was switching around the discs, I actually found my wrench, so I'm just going to pop these out. See, I got 2 of these kind of teal colored discs and 2 of the green discs. So if you want to go with the color discs, then you really need to put more than 1 in there to get, you know, decent color. For example, here's what happens when I put in just 1 red disc. Kind of a light orangish color. And this isn't the orange disc, this is the red disc. Now that's just 1. You know, normally whenever I, maybe this is an orange disc by accident. I actually had a couple red ones off to the side that looked pink when I put them in. Yeah, see, that looks more like a pink. That's with red discs in, so I guess this is a dark orange that looks red. When you combine those together, you get, yeah, kind of an orangey glow to it. Not as good as the red LED, and I actually did come up with a good combination of red using my Lee filters. It's a nice crimson red, which is what I was going for. The problem is, it doesn't show up in a well-lit room. But so, that's my Ultrasaber, my first one, and I intend to get a few more as the years go by. I got my eyes on the Dark Monarch and possibly the Dark Prophecy in the near future. So this is the Dark Catalyst. I am very pleased with it, and just by itself it's a beautiful saber, but like I said, I wasn't planning on using it for Star Wars specifically. So I'm going to do a jump cut now. I'm going to show you what it looks like after I get the handguard installed. So stay tuned. Alright, and this is my saber after I put the handguard on it. And that's the scabbard, just made out of a piece of PVC pipe. The handguard I built using some wood. I actually got a couple of those little wood easels you can get at Walmart, like to hold up a picture frame or something. Cut them down, and I attached them to the handle using epoxy putty. It's not an excellent job, and, you know, for the time restraints I'm under, since I got a convention coming up next month, I still have to finish my armor. This is really not really the biggest of my concerns right now. I'll probably go back and do a better version of this later if I can get the time and resources and the know-how. I like the scabbard look, especially with this little window in there. It's made of PVC pipe, as I just said earlier, and my favorite part about it is this. When you turn it on, you can still see the blade color inside the scabbard. Alright, so here's a look at it up close. Still needs to be smoothed out a little bit more. Probably go back and touch it up a bit later. Like I said, when you get up close, you can notice, you can really notice the epoxy putty on there. I use Kneadatite green stuff for this, then just paint it black, of course. And yeah, but for photo opportunities and all that, whenever I go to these conventions, you can't really see every single little detail. So for what I need it for right now, it serves its purposes. Got my green discs in there for the blade color. One thing I didn't mention earlier was I opted for the pointed tip on the saber instead of the rounded tip. I really like the pointed tip mostly because I think it looks more natural for a lightsaber, but at the same time, this tip isn't so pointed you could potentially impale somebody during the heat of a duel. I mean, yeah, I guess if you fell out of a two-story building on top of it, and if it didn't break the blade, then yeah, you might get impaled. But if you're just, you know, you're just play fighting, then you're not really gonna hurt anybody with that. The only real complaint I have about the heavy grade blade tips is that they don't really light up very well with the rest of the saber, because they don't have the reflective material and they're just a different color. But if you're swinging it around at night or something, you can't really notice that. Yeah, so this has been my review of my Dark Catalyst, which is now what I call the Plasma Saber for the character I'm going as. If you watch my YouTube channel, you may see some pics of me at the con with it. It's Anime Weekend Atlanta coming up next month. So yeah. This is what I turned my Catalyst into, and I am really pleased with this for my first attempt. Yeah, it's kind of bad, but it'll serve its purposes. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Before I end the video, I want to show you a couple different disc and filter combinations I came up with for some good blade colors. Now, this is one that I actually like to use because, as far as I know, Ultrasabers has discontinued their Sentinel Yellow for any non-emerald sabers, which this one isn't. But from what I've seen, this disc combination is pretty close to the actual thing, even though I haven't seen a Sentinel Yellow in person. But from the videos I've watched. This is just one yellow disc and a light orange disc. And check out what this does. Looks more white with a black outline on the camera. Wow, that's quite a contrast. In real life, though, it actually has like a nice glow, a nice goldish glow to it, and it looks really good. Yeah, I turned the lights out so you get a better look at it, but even in a well-lit room, it still shows up pretty well. So this next little bit's just going to be a couple of different filter combinations I came up with. Alright, this next color is one that I probably won't use, like, at all, but I just think it's a funny combination to come up with. It's like a lightish red, and it actually reminds me of the Gundam's Beam Saber from most of the Mobile Suit Gundam series. One thing I never understood is all the Federation mobile suits, with the exception of during like Zeta Gundam and F91, most of the Federation mobile suits' Beam Sabers are like a pinkish color. And yeah, again, on the camera it shows up white with a black outline. But in real life, it actually is like a, well, pink. It's like watermelon shade, almost. Don't know why I guess this isn't the best camera to try to record lightsabers with. Earlier on, you saw where I turned the saber on and the rest of the room dimmed. I didn't even turn the lights out. The camera just automatically focused the lighting for this. Let me try something real quick. Well, no, that's not working. Alright. Well, so, you can't really see it, but there's that. I made this using 3 of the pink color discs. I'm gonna try a couple different ones real quick. Alright, this next one I did just for the sake of a red versus blue joke. This is a light orange and a dark orange disc. Again, comes in brighter on the camera than it actually is, but in real life it's kind of an orangey peach. It's like someone threw up and decided to call that a color. Alright, now this one is my Lee filters instead of my color discs. I don't know how this is going to show up on camera. All I know is if there's sunlight in the room, it doesn't show up very well at all, and even though I've got the blinds closed over there, the light's still coming in. So let's test this out. Now on the camera, this really does look like that orangey peach I was talking about a second ago, but in real life, this is that crimson red. This camera just isn't good for recording lightsaber videos. Guess I should get a different camera next time, huh? This one isn't mine anyway, it's my grandparents'. So, well, if you could see it in real life, it actually is like a deepish crimson red. It's not really a Sith saber, which is fine because even though the saber I got for this character, even though it is an energy sword, technically, it's not really supposed to be all bright and all that like a lightsaber. And the default color is like a dark, like not exactly dark red, but, well, crimson red. Well, anyway, so those are some of the different color combinations I've come up with. None of them are, you know, over the top excellent. I did have a couple of good purple combinations, but I can't remember what the right, you know, what the right formula was, which disc, which filter, and all that. I'm still experimenting, and most of the purple ones come out too dark anyway. So, yeah. If you're thinking about getting a Adage in silver with color discs, I would say get at least 2 sets of color discs and maybe a swatch book of leaf filters. You can get those on eBay for pretty cheap. But yeah, so this is the end of my review for my Dark Catalyst / customized Plasma Saber. And I will make another review once I get another Saber, or if I come up with something new and cool to show you with this one, which probably won't happen since there's not really much more to do on it.